It's commonly said that gambling is a losing game, and even the winners get a cut taken from them. Everyone understands this truth. It's as real as the sky above us. But why then are casinos never short of people constantly flocking in, one after another, down a road of no return? I've asked myself this question for half my life, and I've seen others' answers for the other half. The answer isn't on the card table, or in the roulette wheel, or even on those flashing screens. It's hidden in the heart of every person who walks in, and it's etched into the design plans of every carpet and every light fixture in the casino. What did it feel like the first time you walked into a casino? I'm guessing it was a mix of nervousness, excitement, and a touch of awe. That heavy door, cutting off the outside world, that rush of air, a mixture of perfume, tobacco, and money, that ceaseless symphony of clinking chips and chiming slot machines. It makes you instantly forget who you are, forget you have to go to work tomorrow, forget the mundane realities of your life at home. Here, you have only one identity, a player. This is where the trap begins. The first product it sells you isn't a chance to win money, but an illusion called possibility. Here, a pauper with only a few $100s in his pocket sits at the same card table as a billionaire, and the opportunities seem equal. This false equality is the most potent drug in the world. No one goes in aiming to lose money. Every gambler's story often begins with a sweet opening, like tasting forbidden fruit, a flavor so intoxicating it makes you forget all warnings. This first victory is the casino's first injection of poison. It might be beginner's luck or a happy accident, but its toxicity lies in validating a dangerous thought deep within you. Maybe I'm the special one. As I've said before, human memory is a strange thing. It specifically picks out the good parts and magnifies that good by 100 times. The feeling of winning that one hand, that sensation of your heart pounding out of your chest and blood rushing to your head, can easily overshadow the frustration and regret of 10 or 20 losses. I once knew a small business owner, Mr. Lee, who was usually very frugal, pinching every penny. The first time his friend took him to Macau, he cautiously played Baccarat with a capital of 10,000 renminbi. That night, the cards were unbelievably favorable. The banker won more than 10 times in a row, and he kept betting on it. His chips turned from white to red, and then from red to yellow. By the time he stumbled out of the casino at dawn, his 10,000 renminbi had become 300,000 renminbi. When he came back, he was a changed man. He looked at everyone and thought they weren't as smart as him. He looked at his own small shop, where he worked hard month after month, barely making tens of thousands, and felt it was a complete waste of life. He treated us to dinner and excitedly told me, "Brother, I found the path to getting rich. What's this nonsense about business, with so many rules and thin margins? How can it compare to this? I've figured it out. In this life, fortune favors the bold, and the timid starve. You see, one big win is enough to shatter a person's hard-earned values. It makes you believe that diligence is foolish, and risk and courage are everything. Your brain will help you romanticize all of this. It will actively filter out the sad-faced losers leaning back in chairs with empty eyes in the casino, letting you only see the high rollers under the spotlight, surrounded by beautiful women. You start to believe that you're not one of those background characters who lose everything. You're the protagonist, the chosen one who can see through the game and control your destiny. This feeling is addictive. Winning money brings not only financial gain, but also a tremendous sense of validation and affirmation. In your everyday life, you might be a mediocre employee, a husband not respected by his wife, or a salesperson routinely hassled by clients. But at the card table, when you emotionlessly push out a stack of chips and the eyes of everyone at the table focus on you, you feel an unprecedented sense of presence. When the dealer uses that small stick to push a pile of colorful chips toward you, you feel a power akin to that of a king. To repeatedly experience this feeling, you'll come back again and again. And the casino is an expert at giving you this winning experience. They control the odds, making it easier for you to taste sweetness in the beginning. Slot machines are also designed with small, frequent rewards to keep you continuously stimulated with small wins, making you feel like this machine pays out easily. All of this is designed to make you drop your guard, to make you believe that winning money here is possible, even easy, thus hooking you firmly. After the sweet beginning, there's inevitably a long and painful tug of war. Here, we need to discuss the core black holes of a gambler's psychology. Once you fall into them, you can never climb out. First, there's that painful magnifying glass, academically known as loss aversion. This is the cornerstone of all gamblers' psychology. Nobel laureates have long studied it. The pain of losing $100 is more than twice the pleasure of gaining $100. This simple principle is the casino's most powerful weapon. After losing money, that lump in your chest, like a piece of your heart has been gouged out, you must fill it back in, or you can't eat or sleep. That feeling isn't simply losing money. It's an insult to your character, a negation of your intelligence. Your inner monologue is, "How could I lose here? I clearly had the cards figured out. I have to get what's mine back. At this point, the purpose of gambling has quietly changed. It's no longer about the joy of winning money, but about escaping the pain of losing money. To escape the pain, to break even, you'll start placing bigger bets, because you need one win to recover everything you lost before. Your decisions will become increasingly aggressive, increasingly irrational. You transform from a player into a revenger. And the casino waits for revengers like you. Because a person controlled by anger and resentment is the easiest lamb to slaughter. I've personally seen someone who initially lost 50,000, and to chase that 50,000, he bet 100,000 and lost. To chase 150,000, he bet 300,000 and lost again. Finally, with bloodshot eyes, he put his car and house on the line and overnight went from middle class to absolute destitution. Every step he took wasn't to win, but simply to return to the state of not having lost, yet he ended up plummeting into an even deeper abyss. In stark contrast to the pain of losing money, the thrill of winning money diminishes over time. This is called hedonic adaptation. The first time you win $1,000, you might be excited for days, treating friends to dinner and karaoke. The 10th time you win $1,000, you might just think, it's all right, recovered some losses. Soon, you'll need to win $10,000 to feel the same thrill you got from winning 1,000. After that, it's 100,000, a million. Your desire threshold constantly rises. Your appetite gets bigger and bigger. This explains why many gamblers, even when they've won money, sometimes a significant amount, still refuse to leave. It's because that small money no longer excites them. They seek a greater thrill, that feeling of their heart almost stopping. They want to replicate the glory of their first big win, but the result is often giving back everything they won, along with their principal, to the casino. The casino's money is like a mirage. You see it piled high in front of you, but you can never take it with you. As your bets get bigger and bigger, your mind starts playing another trick, looking for so-called patterns in chaos. This is the most insidious gambler's fallacy. For example, at the card table, if banker has won 10 times in a row, do you feel like the next hand must be player? Everyone at the table might be shouting, "Kill the dragon! Kill the dragon!" You feel that probabilistically, it doesn't make sense, and if you don't follow through now, all your previous analysis would be wasted. You feel like you've grasped some kind of divine secret, that you're engaging in an intellectual battle with the casino. But the truth is, every card dealt, every spin of the wheel, every roll of the dice, is a completely independent random event. It has absolutely no connection to your previous 100 or 1,000 results. Coins have no memory, dice have no preferences, and the cards in the shoe don't think. The casino is like a tireless god. It's just constantly repeating a game of probability. And you, on the other hand, are trying to use human emotions and logic to second-guess the will of a god, which is the greatest absurdity in itself. The casino exploits this self-righteous psychology, trapping you stubbornly in your own logic, dragging you deeper and deeper. Beyond these, there's an even more insidious psychological trap, one that's even more addictive than winning money. That's the feeling of almost winning, the so-called near-miss effect. The numbers you bought were just one digit off from the winning lottery numbers, your chosen team lost in the last second, or the slot machine symbols were just one off from the jackpot. This feeling of just missing it creates a strong sense of regret and frustration. But physiologically, your brain releases dopamine in amounts not much different from when you actually win money. It creates the illusion that, my judgment wasn't wrong, I just had bad luck. Even though you're constantly losing money, this feeling makes you believe you're always approaching a win, having multiple mental climaxes along the way. Slot machines and various electronic games in casinos are designed to maximize this near-miss feeling. The screen constantly shows seemingly successful combinations, making you feel like next time, just next time, you'll definitely succeed. This continuous, false hope is more adhesive than losing completely. It will drain your last penny. But even if you're a master psychologist and luckily see through these tricks in your own mind, you still can't beat the casino, the true opponent. Because you're not gambling against luck, you're gambling against a team of top psychologists, mathematicians, architects, and data analysts. You think you're playing a game, but they're running the most precise, most brutal science. Let's talk about mathematics first, the foundation of the casino's existence, that cold, hard house edge, or what we call the rake. No matter what you play, Baccarat, Blackjack, Roulette, slot machines, the design of every game's rules ensures that the casino has a small but irreversible probabilistic advantage. This advantage might only be 1 or 2%, seemingly insignificant. But the essence of gambling is repetition. As long as you play long enough, and often enough, this tiny advantage will snowball, slowly and relentlessly devouring your entire capital. It's like an arm wrestle with someone who always has one more hand than you. You might win occasionally, but if you keep at it, you will ultimately lose. The casino isn't afraid of you winning. It's afraid of you winning once and then leaving. As long as you remain at the table, that invisible rake machine is constantly running. The money you win is merely being temporarily held by the casino. Now let's look at casino architecture. Have you ever wondered why the internal designs of casinos worldwide are strikingly similar? That's no accident. First, there are no clocks and no windows in a casino. This is to make you lose track of time, to forget whether it's day or night outside. In that bizarre world, the sense of time is blurred, and you can easily gamble for a dozen hours without realizing it. Second, the internal layout of a casino is a meticulously designed maze. The carpet patterns are always gaudy, even a bit swirling, making you dizzy. The ceiling height is usually not high, giving you a sense of enclosure. The placement of slot machines and card tables is always winding, with no straight line allowing you to see from the entrance directly to the end. Want to find a restroom or grab a bite to eat at a restaurant? Sure, but you'll have to pass through several gaming areas, making several turns in the slot machine labyrinth. That path is deliberately designed to be circuitous, precisely to make you glance at the gambling tables more often, hear the clinking of chips more often, and have the thought of just one more game cross your mind more often. Then there's the sensory bombardment. The dazzling lights, especially red and gold, aren't for festivity. Scientific studies prove these colors excite you, raise your blood pressure, accelerate your heart rate, leading to more impulsive decisions. The perpetually noisy music and chatter in the background aren't just noise. Their decibels and rhythm are precisely calculated to keep you in a state of moderate excitement without feeling annoyed. In this environment, your betting speed will unconsciously accelerate. The free drinks served are an even softer trap. No one refuses free champagne and whiskey, but alcohol's effect is to loosen that reason's string, making it easier for you to overestimate your judgment and to boldly declare, "I'll go all in." They even provide the most comfortable chairs, offer snacks and tea, making you feel at home and perfectly at ease. It's ironic that many veteran gamblers are reluctant to even go to the restroom, not because they don't want to, but because they're afraid their lucky spot will be taken. You see, humans are so contradictory. They know the game is random, yet they're superstitious about a certain seat, a pair of red underwear, or a lucky dealer bringing them good fortune. This ritualistic behavior and illusion of control are also welcomed by the casino. The more superstitious you are, the more you attribute wins and losses to luck and metaphysics rather than cold probability, and the less likely you are to sober up. Modern casinos, moreover, utilize technology to the extreme. The membership card you get when you walk in, ostensibly a rewards card for free rooms and buffets, is in reality an insidious tracking device. Every hand you play, every bet you place, your win/loss records, the time you spend in the casino, what games you prefer, and even your spending habits are all recorded and compiled into vast amounts of data. The casino's data analysts create a profile of you based on your value and habits. If you're a high-value customer who has lost a lot of money and is on the verge of breaking down, your VIP client manager's phone might receive an alert. They'll appear at the opportune moment, pat your shoulder, offer you a voucher for a top-tier restaurant, or tell you that the hotel's presidential suite is ready for you. This isn't care, this is precision marketing. They know you're approaching a critical point, so they give you a little sweetness to calm you down and pull you back to the gambling table. This card is an invisible leash around your neck. Speaking of VIPs, that's a trap within a trap, a gilded cage built with gold and vanity. I knew a former real estate magnate who was a force to be reckoned with in the business world, but ultimately fell in the VIP room. In the main hall, winning or losing hundreds of thousands might make him wince. But in the VIP room, everything was different. Private jet transfers, a Rolls-Royce at the door, exclusive client managers bowing and scraping, beautiful dealers serving only him. Every sip of wine was top shelf, every bite of food air freighted. Here, money was no longer money, just a number, a stack of colorful plastic chips. His self-esteem was greatly inflated. He felt like the center of the world. In this atmosphere, a $100,000 bet felt like betting 1,000 in the main hall. His client manager would kindly offer him credit, called a marker in the industry. He didn't need to carry cash, just a signature. This completely numbed him. He was no longer losing his own money, but a string of debt figures. By the time he sobered up, that number was so large he could never repay it in his lifetime. Did he think he was receiving respect? No, what he was receiving was an advance on the money he would lose in the future. His face was bought at the cost of his financial ruin. When all of this, the internal psychological black holes and the external sophisticated traps, combine, a person's descent becomes inevitable. This process usually goes through several stages. It begins with the winning honeymoon period. Then comes the chasing tug-of-war, during which you start lying to family and friends, covering up your losses. You'll say, the money was invested, or a friend borrowed it for a turnover. Your life begins to split into two versions, a glamorous, normal life, and a secret life of frantic gambling in the casino. Further down lies the abyss of despair. When your savings, property, and stocks are all gone, you'll start borrowing money from those around you. When friends and relatives become wary of lending to you, your gaze will turn to the loan sharks, high-interest lenders, lurking at the casino entrance. They are the parasites of the casino, the last link in this food chain. They will smilingly lend you money, at shockingly high interest rates. The money you borrow is almost impossible to win back at the casino. It will only trap you deeper in the quicksand of debt. By then, what you face every day will no longer be wins or losses, but debt collection calls and threats. The most tragic case I witnessed was a once respectable teacher. He started by just dabbling in stocks, then found it wasn't exciting enough and began betting on sports. He thought he understood sports, had analytical skills, and was better than those who blindly gambled. The result, as you can imagine, was disastrous. He lost his salary, started cashing out credit cards, and took out online loans. To repay his debts, he even embezzled school funds. When his actions came to light, his reputation was ruined, his wife left him, and he ended up in prison. In the final stage of his life, gambling for him was no longer about winning money, or even breaking even, but a form of anesthetic to escape reality. Only in the moment of placing a bet could he forget his failed life, forget the debt collection calls, forget his disappointed family. The outcome of winning or losing was no longer important. What mattered was the act of gambling itself, the only moment he could find a sense of existence and excitement. There's a saying on Wall Street, amateurs buy, professionals sell. The same applies in a casino. The casino is never afraid of you winning. It's afraid of you not coming back. The 10,000 you win today is their long game. The capital for you to come back and lose 100,000 next time. What you lose is their true profit. They provide you with a seemingly fair stage to perform a monologue, the script titled I Can Win, but the ending is already predetermined, destruction. Ultimately, gambling, from its rules to its environment, from its psychological to its physiological aspects, is a perfectly designed trap targeting human weaknesses. It gives you hope, then plunges you into despair. It makes you feel like you can control everything, only to finally realize you're just a pawn on someone else's chessboard, manipulated in the palm of their hand. A small gamble for pleasure? That's the biggest lie in the world, told to those who haven't yet jumped in. Once you're in, pleasure is no longer up to you. The only winner in this game is always the silent, smiling casino owner watching it all unfold. So if you haven't walked through that door yet, I congratulate you. If you've already stepped one foot in, I beg you look back. Look at the people behind you who truly love and care for you. Look at the life you've worked so hard to build. Beyond that door lies no gold, only an endless abyss and broken families. This murky water, it's better not to wade into it. Truly, it's better not to wade into it.